Have you ever been deep in the woods, really deep, and felt it? That prickle on your neck? That sudden, gut punch feeling that something isn't right? What's up, everyone, and welcome back. Today, we're venturing off the beaten path, like, way off, into those stories that make you question the very ground you walk on. We're talking about those chilling accounts people share, hikers, campers, explorers, who swear they experienced a glitch in the woods. Now, before we get lost in the dark, let's be super clear. This is speculative, purely for entertainment. Do your research if you take it seriously. We're exploring stories, feelings, and mysteries here, not presenting a science lecture. Cool? Cool. So, picture this. Imagine a couple, let's call them Sarah and Ben. Experienced hikers, they know their trails, got the gear, respect the wilderness. They're on a multi-day trek in a vast, remote national forest, the kind of place where phone signal is a distant memory, and it's just you and the ancient trees. Day 1. Perfect. Birds singing, sun dappling through the leaves, you know the vibe. But day 2, that's when things start to feel off. It starts small. An eerie silence falls. Not just quiet, but like someone hit the mute button on the world. No birds, no insects, not even the rustle of leaves. Just nothing. Kinda unsettling, right? They press on, a little weirded out, but they rationalize it. Maybe the wind died down, maybe they're in a dense part of the forest. But then, they see it. The trail marker. The same trail marker they passed an hour ago. Impossible. They know they've been walking in a straight line, following the path. Okay, weird, but maybe they got turned around. It happens. They check their map, their compass. Everything says they should be miles ahead. They shake it off, mark this one with a small, distinct scratch, and walk on, extra carefully this time. 30 minutes later, there it is again. The same tree. The same marker. With their scratch on it. My blood runs cold just thinking about that. That's when the real panic starts to set in. The sun seems to be in the wrong part of the sky for the time. Ben swears he hears a low, metallic hum, but Sarah hears nothing but that oppressive silence. They start seeing movements in their peripheral vision, shadows that aren't quite right. The trees themselves seem different, almost like they've subtly rearranged themselves. This is the kind of story we hear whispered online, around campfires. It's not just getting lost, it's the feeling that the rules themselves have changed. Time looping, geography warping, sounds that shouldn't exist, the glitch in the matrix, but, with more mosquitoes and bears. So, what could be going on here? The skeptic in us, and it's important to have one, has a few ideas. Could it be extreme disorientation? Absolutely. Forests can look deceptively similar, and even experienced hikers can get turned around, especially under stress. Panic can mess with your perception, make you doubt your senses, even cause mild hallucinations. Throw in fatigue, maybe not enough water, or brain can play some seriously weird tricks on you. And what about sound? That eerie silence or weird hums? Well, there's a thing called infrasound, super low frequency sound, below human hearing, that can be generated by wind, weather, or even man-made sources miles away. Studies, and yeah, there are actual studies on infrasound, though not glitches, show it can cause feelings of unease, anxiety, and even a sense of a presence. Could that be a factor? Maybe. But does that explain everything? Does it explain the impossible loops, the shifting landscapes that people so vividly describe? Does it explain the feeling, that deep, instinctual wrongness? That's where things get weirder. Some people lean into those glitch in the matrix ideas. Are we living in a simulation? And sometimes, especially in complex, data-heavy environments like forests, the code just stutters? It's a wild thought, totally unproven, but man, does it fit some of these stories like a glove, doesn't it? Then there are the folklore angles. Ancient spirits, fae folk, places where the veil between worlds is thin. Every culture, pretty much, has stories about certain spots in nature where you just don't go. Or if you do, you tread very carefully. Are these just old tales, or are they rooted in generations of people experiencing something? Something we've lost the language for in our modern world? What I find fascinating is how consistent these stories are, even from people who have never heard of glitches or Fortean phenomena. The time slips, the silence, the feeling of being watched, the sudden, inexplicable fear. It's like a shared human experience, a blueprint for the uncanny that gets triggered when we step into the deep, wild places. Maybe there isn't one single answer. Maybe some cases are disorientation. Maybe some are psychological. And maybe some are something else. Something we don't have a name for, something that reminds us that we don't understand everything. And that's the real kicker, isn't it? The unknown. It's terrifying, but it's also kinda thrilling. It reminds us that there are still mysteries out there, that the world might be a bit stranger, a bit more magical, or maybe just a bit more dangerous than we think. So, what do you think? Have you ever felt something strange out in nature? A moment you just can't explain? Drop your stories in the comments below. I genuinely want to read them. Let's talk about it. But please, be respectful and remember, these are personal experiences. And as you share, think about this. Does our modern, connected world make us more susceptible to these feelings when we finally disconnect? Or have these glitches always been there, waiting in the silence between the trees? What does it say about us that these stories resonate so deeply? Food for thought, right? If you enjoyed venturing into the weird woods with me today, do me a solid. Hit that like button, and if you haven't already, subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss our next deep dive. Stay curious, stay safe, and maybe just maybe stick to the marked trails. Or don't. See you next time.